What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. You know, a lot of people have gave their opinions about AJ with his comments concerning Lennox Lewis. You know, and a lot of people are questioning, is Anthony Joshua, is his dark side emerging? Or has it finally changed or flipped over? Did he just get enough of people talking to him before he turns into this dark side, this villain-like character or persona, should I say? You know, and to answer you guys' question, all of these guys, it's not the first time Anthony Joshua has shown his dark side. I don't know if you guys can remember, I did a video back in December where Anthony Joshua revealed that he can be pissed off, that he is human. And that's with Dillian White. You know, Dillian White personally said something to Anthony Joshua about Anthony Joshua while Anthony Joshua was there. And he was pretty pissed off. And then we were able to see that dark side come about because he was talking about fucking up Dillian White, knocking him the spark out. Like, hey, you know, you guys, you know, say you want a Dillian White fight, so don't get mad when I pick Dillian White to knock the spark out again. Knock him spark out. And he was pissed off and he went on. He went on like a 2-minute rant, right? And I'll leave the link below. But this here is another volume, another example how Anthony Joshua shows his dark side. He shows that he can be pissed off like any other person, right? Well, this is another example with Lennox Lewis. He called Lennox Lewis a clown. You know, he said, you know, he has a clown heart, right? He's a clown at heart. They're nothing alike. Don't compare him to me. I'm forming and making my own legacy. Fuck Lennox Lewis's legacy. And a lot of people think, oh man, why is he doing this to Lennox Lewis? And why is this and that? And now Lennox Lewis is now taking the like high road or, hey, what did I do to you type of thing? Like, oh, he's stressed, he's this. No, he's pissed. He might be those things. But one thing I know, he's pissed. He's pissed because a guy that's supposed to fought for his country, his countrymen, Lennox Lewis, then have suffered the same type of scrutiny that Anthony Joshua has over here, but he's had it lately, you know, and someone like Lennox Lewis can empathize more with Anthony Joshua than he can Deontay Wilder, in a sense of being from somewhere else fighting in a foreign land. You know, and the one thing he could have done, he didn't do, right? He could have gave his support to Anthony Joshua, first of all, in private. He should know that, you know, oh, well, you have to come over here. He didn't step up. He didn't do this. But then yet you pretend when he says something about you that, oh, well, you know, he has my number. If he wants to talk to me, he can say anything. Well, I mean, if you wanted to talk to him, you could have called him also. You know, I've already stated that. That was just dumb. So you don't expect him not to say anything about you, which wasn't too bad, right? That wasn't, you know, he could have called him a bitch, you know, an undercover homosexual, a lot of things, right? Like Rockman did. Rockman called him a straight up bitch, or, you know, stuff like that. You know, Anthony didn't get that pissed, but he did show his, he shared his comments about Lennox Lewis and how he felt about him. And how he felt about him. He was displeased with a lot of things. And he really didn't even go into detail. He was just like, no, he's a clown. He wants to sit back and criticize other fighters that are fighting today. And then really, it's focused more on Anthony Joshua, somebody that, again, supposed to be from your country, somebody that you feel because you had to come and leave England to be known over here, and Anthony Joshua hasn't. I think that's what made the divide between the two. And Lewis seen that he wanted to showcase Joshua here in the States, and Joshua was already getting all those accolades. In fact, more accolades and more attention than Lennox Lewis ever had in England. And I think that's where that came from. Whereas Lewis had to take a lot of scrutiny himself. He could give two shits, or he envies, so to say, what AJ was able to do in the UK alone in half the amount of fights. And I think that's what it is. He feels that AJ doesn't need the attention, but guess what? He could have called AJ if he was a straight up man, like he's claiming to be now. Like, oh, he can call me. He can, my door is always open to him, and he can talk to me about anything. But then it's like, okay, well, you could have done the same thing, but you chose to, hang around Deontay. You're a PBC commentator, and then how do we know, as fans, as journalists, as whatever, the outside people looking in, how do we know that it's not biased, right? The writing's on the wall. You work for PBC, so you're talking shit about a Matchroom fighter from a different promotional company, you know what I mean? But then yet you want to pretend like, oh, what did I do? Why is he saying this about me? He has to be stressed in this and that and the other. Man, you've been talking shit for a year. And this is what happens when you keep talking shit about a person instead of to a person. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened in this situation. Lewis had so much to say about Anthony Joshua and had nothing to say about Deontay Wilder, right? He said what he said about Fury, but then yet he pulled Fury like a diamond out of the rough, like he was Britain's answer to what Anthony Joshua didn't do when Joshua was sending fight offers, contracts to Deontay Wilder's team. So someone knowing that and knowing everything that took place and knowing what he was trying to do, here's another guy that's retired, that's been out of the sport, but ridicule him and just so happened to be a part of PBC. Why shouldn't he say anything about him? Why shouldn't he reveal his dark side and show like, hey, this dude's a clown. I've made up my mind. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I stayed quiet. I tried to stay respectful, but damn, enough is enough now. What am I going to do now? Besides speak my piece. And I think this is what happened. So, quote unquote, is Anthony Joshua revealing his dark side? Yes, but this is nothing new. He's been doing that. He did it with Dillian White. He did it with Miller. He did it with Lewis. And there will be more to come because, Anthony Joshua is a guy that, he can only take so much too, right? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Is Anthony Joshua turning into this bad guy or revealing once again a dark side? Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.